She was very encouraging, very inspiring, and she actually motivated me. I appreciate the fact that she was so authentic and very personable, and it really made me feel like I relate to her story. What I aspire to be? Just the best version of myself.
You are listening to Unleash the Podcast, revolutionizing the way women grow, work, live, and lead. Engaging interviews, insightful book reviews, and timeless gems to aid the modern woman in excelling personally and professionally. Hosted by the multi-passionate Tabitha D. James, Unleash the Podcast not only empowers listeners, but also equips them with applicable action-based resources for daily life. Hello, and how are you doing? I hope well. Respond to me, even though this is a podcast. You can let me know how you're doing by shooting a message on All Things Social or sending me an email. All my contact information, or a lot of my contact information, is in the show notes. So I'm here today with the Timeless Gem session. Pardon my voice. I don't know if this is allergies or a baby cold or what is going on, but I'm a little stopped up. So pardon my voice, but I was not going to skip this week. So I am here. I want to chat a little bit about paying dues, service, sacrifice, a little bit of that stuff, okay? So I get it, right? We all, need and want to make a coin. We all need and want to be successful in whatever regards that means for us. We all want to, up level, if you will. However, in order to do so, there has to be a season or some seasons of paying your doggone dues. Like, you have to get in the trenches, do the work, show up, serve, be the best version of yourself, and exemplify that time and time and time again to build that reputation, so that in the time and in the season for reward and for harvest and for manifestation, you have proven yourself, not only to others, but also to yourself. For my spiritual folks, also to God, to your higher being. Because if you aren't willing to put in the work, then why should you get the reward? If you weren't willing to show up and be your best self at the lower levels, why should you be escalated? And I think we think sometimes, or we neglect to think sometimes, how the little things matter, right? Let's just think about our organization skills. If we can't, file a few papers, why do we need a lot? Or if we can't get our lives together when we're only overseeing a small amount of things, why should we have more? Right? If we can't manage $100, why do we need 1,000? Why do we need 10? Why do we need 100? You have to do the work in the trenches in order to get the reward later on. And I teeter-tatter sometimes. There are some amazing millennials. Like, don't get me wrong. I meet some amazing millennials, and I can't remember what the generation is at the millennials, but I met one the other day, and he was on his stuff. Okay, so there's no lost cause, right? Because in generations prior, there were people who just weren't crap. Okay, there were people who weren't on it, people who were a mess. That's ever flowing. It's not a new thing. That's all the time. That's the way of the world. But what I can say about this day and time with, just open access, there is a facade, if you will, that instant gratification and instant elevation and instant anything is like a way of the world. And it's not. It's just not. At the end of the day, it still takes a long time to be an overnight success, right? And so it bothers me sometimes that people aren't willing to put in the work. It bothers me sometimes that people think that they should be commended for half done things. If you gave half effort, then why do you deserve full portion? I don't get it. So Timeless Gem is do your part. right? Show up as the person that you want to be known as. And if you feel that you aren't able to do that, do some self-evaluation, assess where things are not going well, and figure out what it is that you can do to make sure that you're showing up as your best self. Reputation matters. It takes a long time to build and real quick to kill. Okay, so take into account the way you want to be perceived, because perception is everything. At the end of the day, perception is everything. And so your pure heart can be deceived if the perception is not of purity. So it is my hope that this timeless gem of doing your part sinks into you and seeds into you, and is something that you can take as an assessment tool for your life, something that you may be able to share with someone else, something that you will take some time to just reflect on. As I have been in reflection for the past few months, I see where there have been times where I did not show up as my best self, and though I tried my best to rekindle situations and relationships, there were some things that were just doggone hindered, like balls dropped and glasses cracked, simply because I was not doing my part and I was not showing up as my best self. I think it was because I was not identifying and accepting what I had going on in life. I'm able to now assess where and why those things happened. But sitting in reflection is important. Sitting in reflection is critical. As you're doing your part, as you're showing up, reflect daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, over your life, over your personal satisfaction, not over the satisfaction that you want other people to perceive, but what satisfaction are you seeing internally? Are you happy with who you are? Are you happy with where you are? And are you happy with what you're putting in the atmosphere? Because oftentimes we'll get it twisted and we'll conform to what other people want us to view as satisfaction or success, and that's not what it's about. It's about what we personally want to feel, what we personally want to do, and how we personally want to show up in the world. So, timeless gem for today: do your part, dive into yourself, feel the need to reflect, and adapt and adjust accordingly. Make it do what it do. So that's it. This episode was brought to you by Unleash, the live event, November the 16th, happening in Myrtle Beach at the DoubleTree Oceanfront Resort. I look forward to seeing you there. If you are a creative female entrepreneur, if you are not, tag, tell, send a smoke signal to one so that they can get their ticket and be in the atmosphere. Information about that can be found on the site. I will put the direct link in the show notes. Until next time, continue doing your part. Remember to reflect, adapt, and adjust. See you later.